Hello, welcome back to Sunday Night Alien. Well, Sunday Night Free League, but it's Alien right now that we're doing. We're doing the campaign Frontier War. Tyler's back. He's now he's abandoned his countrymen, but he's back. He's left Canada, but that's okay. We still love him. He's still one of our own. But Evan is still away, so I'll have to wait another week to meet the latest River Bee, who will die in the first session. TPK right. Oh, it's already started. Okay. I'll do my best. Let's do the round table, and then we got to catch up Tyler on what happened last week because he has been moving and into a whole new country. He did not get caught up on what happened, so we'll have to do a little debrief. So let's start. Jen, you are first.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jen. I'm Gentendo or Riot Gentendo. I'm pretty much any place that has social things. Tonight I'm playing Aradia, who is a smart gunner, previous Wayland Yutani, and looking forward to protecting Grandpa Seth as he slowly remembers who I am.
He lost his memory. Isn't that so good? He lost his memory.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good.
I can't wait to see how Tyler plays this out, because he forgot who all of you are. He knows he's a Marine. He remembers like his backstory, but his latest little squad here, he doesn't know who any of you are.
He still thinks he's the sniper. Is what's going on now.
Even though he's a medic. All right, well, why don't you tell us about it? Tyler, you're up next. Why don't you tell us about Seth Bones?
Yeah, so Seth Bones, the young Seth Bones that they, was a sniper. So much so that they actually gained a Marine Commendation Medal because even though they were a sniper, they still took the time to throw themselves in front of shrapnel to save some citizens, and that's what messed him up. So he couldn't be a sniper again, so he became a medic too, because he's like, hey, I saved somebody, I felt good about it at the very least. And now he's on the goal to get to his retirement by jumping in front of the last thing, even though he doesn't know his current teammates. That doesn't matter, as they are Marines, and that's all. And so they deserve protecting.
You're the Danny Glover of our campaign. You're just 1 week away from retirement.
Yeah.
Right?
Always.
And you've tried to kill yourself a number of times and it just hasn't worked.
So failed every time. I literally failed the mobility check, so I literally tripped before getting in front of the bullet. It was wonderful, actually. It was a great time. I loved it. But me myself, I'm Tyler, and on all the medias I am now Fool the DM, which I will not do to Matt. I will not fool him. I will.
It's okay,
I won't do that.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Tyler's done a rebranding, so make sure you're following Tyler. Fool the DM.
Yeah, and that's me. Hello.
Have you been doing any streaming since you moved, or are you just kind of been kidding?
This is my first one back.
Oh wow! Welcome back.
And I have another one. My next thing is around the end of the month, which you'll see on my Twitter. I'm running Avatar Legends over on a channel called Stella Luna, and it's gonna be a ton.
Hey, Captain Ryan, thank you so much. That's the big one right now on Kickstarter. That's made like $3 million, the highest grossing role-playing game on Kickstarter ever. Yay.
It's fun.
It's not a free league game. People are wondering. You won't see it here. Bill, what do you want to tell us about Clarence AW Revolver?
Hey everybody, I'm Bill. I'm playing the recently promoted Clarence AW Revolver. I am now a lieutenant and the leader of our small group of Marines. At the same time, I was promoted into the Black Guard, which they are not two things that perfectly work together. So I'm going to be choosing between Black Guard objectives and our mission objectives, and hopefully getting everyone killed along the way. Yeah, I am the forward observer of the group, and for some terrible reason, I'm a Space Marine that's terrible with guns and uses a sword.
Yes. Interesting enough, I was chatting with Millie last week about she's running this also on Garblight Games. So she's tried recruiting their team into the Black Guard, and they rejected it.
Ooh.
So we are part of it. We've diverged, and that's actually not part of this campaign. So it's interesting that both of us tried to do that. But cool. All right, and Aaron, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I am playing Lance Corporal Hero Hanzo. He is stone cold killer, a borderline sociopath who spent his entire life in military schools, being conditioned to be that, a Marine, in his entire life. He's recovering from having leg shot off and a prosthetic on. He's driving forward, and he's very excited and happy to be under the leadership of Lieutenant Revolver. He has a great deal of respect as a tactical leader. I'm Aaron, and you can find us tomorrow night or Tuesday night on Garblight Games.
Yeah,
playing Blades in the Dark.
Tuesday masks
or masks. Sorry, Mask and Alatotha. That's right. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Wednesday, I'll be on Garblight Games at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time playing Octoon Cthulhu. And then Thursday night, Blades.
Yeah, we'll see if it actually question mark Blades question mark. That's
question mark Blades on Garblight Games, possibly.
Yeah.
And Hanzo is ready to potentially die tonight.
Oh, whoa! No pressure.
As he always is.
No pressure. Yeah, so let's give a rundown. So you talked about the new orders. So Clarence Revolver has told Aradia that they are second in command, and whenever he's up there like doing his forward observing thing, if anything should happen, it's her call. She's in charge of the squad when he is busy. Hanzo has been given the order to just shoot. Don't ask questions, just shoot whenever you think you need to. I don't know if he has any orders for Seth.
I do have a order for Seth.
Okay.
Seth, you are our medic and truly our best support person. I want you to work as a floater and help support everybody else to make sure their jobs are working great. You understand what it is to snipe. You understand what it is to load Aradia's rocket launcher. And you're always ready to help heal people. So float around, do what's needed. And right now that means, unfortunately, babysitting Mr. Gannon before Aradia.
Oh yeah,
sir.
so yeah, we gotta get into that. Who Mr. Gannon is?
I will do it. No, 100%.
Oh, and I don't know if you saw in the chat. We need to get this on. I don't have it ready to show everybody, but we have a new logo for the squad. We're now Revolvers Irregulars. Brendan did an amazing logo for us. Hopefully we're going to get a color version, and I'm hoping to get his permission, and maybe we can throw it up available on some items people can buy, because I know I'd like a Revolvers Irregulars mug to drink my coffee out of and such. So
absolutely
amazing. Jen's laughing like crazy over there. What's going on, Jen?
I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm thinking about the name and about how we all have katanas now. Also, Seth has a katana.
Everybody has katanas.
Important. Everyone has katanas.
Yes, and if you manage to kill someone with your katana, you will be drinking on me until your next mission.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So speaking of the mission, let's do a rundown here for the viewers, and we'll do a rundown for Tyler's benefit, who missed out. So you've been sent down to a planet. You are to locate a frontline hospital core ship, the UAS Glory. It was shot down about 6 weeks ago, and you were tasked with going to find this ship. You are to locate its remains. You are to survey the area, get its flight recorder, extract any survivors, and then blow it the hell up. You have been sent on your mission with a Weyland-Yutani insurance investigator by the name of Kent Gannon. And he is there to assess the damage to this ship. And you are on a dense jungle planet. Think Predator. Dense jungle planet. And communications are like out of the question. You got shot down on your way down there. You guys were making your drop ship down to the planet side. A UPP MiG shot you down, nearly destroying your dropship. If it weren't for the piloting, was it Hanzo who piloted it down?
Yep. Yeah, Hanzo took it down.
Saving the dropship,
Nice.
you were then jumped by some, you don't know what. They started firing rocket launchers at you, and Aradia answered with a rocket launcher back at them and blew them the hell up. And you continued on from there.
Good
We had a
job.
couple of little well, they weren't really encounters, but it's sort of like random things that happened along the way on the way to the ship that you're supposed to find. You found a skull with like a perfect circle punctured through it, a human skull. You had there was like little shrimp-like creatures that were swimming up people's clothes. What was
Ooh.
the other thing? That was there was mud.
There
Dead
was
landmine.
Oh, yeah,
dead landmine and a UAC cryopod that had a body inside it with the ribs splayed out.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So
The
okay,
lungs obviously tried to escape from its body. That's the important thing. The lungs were
Yeah.
trying to escape.
that's right.
Exactly.
So Aradia was able to look at the PDAT being carried by Mr. Gannon, and she noticed that the signal that you were following was that of no UA signal, United America signal. It was
Mhm.
UPP signal he was following. So when you got to the ship, it is crashed, it is in pieces, it is torn apart, but there's still a big bulking hull that is buried in a swamp. It's kind of like submerged and half sticking out. Aradia it was Aradia, you found the true name of the ship, did you not? You uncovered it?
It was a Russian name.
Yes,
It
it's
had
a
some Russian.
it's a
It was
UPP
the
ship.
Proletariat Glory or Glory
Yeah, Glory of
Proletariat?
The glory of the
Right.
proletariat.
Yep.
Mm.
And that's when some of the true nature of this mission came out, when Mr. Gannon was pushed for details. And what were those? Why are you really there?
If I remember right, Gannon told us that our job is to get the flight recorder, rescue
Yep.
any Marines, and scuttle the ship.
No, well, not Marines. Any cryo sleep
Any
Cryo.
cryo
survivors.
sleepers. But it looks like the cryo sleepers on the UPP ship are UA people, and they're UA cryopods.
Yes.
At least one. Yep.
Yeah,
At least
the one you
one.
found on the outside is a UA cryopod. So that's you're United Americas, but it's on a UPP ship. So things are a little strange. There was a skeleton inside the one you found. It was outside the ship, and that was the one with its ribs that were like splayed from the outside or the inside out. Something burst,
Oof.
if you will, out of its chest, killing it. And then so you got up on the
We should call that like something like a torso exploder.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I think
Okay, that's a good one.
call.
It rolls off the tongue.
Right?
We get a chance to name these things. We've never heard of them before.
You've never
We name
Very
them whatever
true.
we want.
It's true. You've never encountered these things before. And you just opened the aft door at the back of the ship. You were going to blow it open, and Mr. Gannon pointed out, whoa, that's where the fuel cells are. How about we not blow this door open? And that's where we literally left off.
Ooh.
So with that,
Okay.
the door has been blown open. There's a dark hallway leading into this crash ship in front of you.
And we had just set up a charge on the
Bridge
side of the
charges.
fuel tank in case we need to get out of there quickly and destroy the ship.
Yes, you did do that. You did do that.
Okay.
I need everyone before you. Seth, we had decided you're with them the whole time. You and Evans.
Yeah.
and Carrot. Well, I don't know about Evans or Carrot, but you've been with them the whole time, so it's not like a weird introduction
Okay.
where you came out of nowhere. I need everybody to go ahead and make
Cool.
me an observation roll, please, before you go in after you've blown the door open. Oh, look at that! Aradia's already got the stress.
Let's see. Observation. Let's go.
Oh, Seth.
No.
How do you have stress? You didn't play last week.
Oh, my bad.
Clear
I'll
your
re-roll
stress.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
let's
you got
do
the
that.
success. That's fine. You got the success.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, wait a minute, you weren't here. How do you have like 6 stress? That's the stress of moving to the States.
I'm at a -2 to all my agility rolls from here on out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
Okay, so
How
who
am I at
passed?
panic level? How am I at panic level 8? I don't understand. I'm at panic level 8.
But don't forget, you took Nerves of Steel, so it's only a 6.
Oh, good call. So
Now I'm at a 68. Sorry, it literally made it 68 for a second there.
all of you passed, with the exception of Hanzo. You hear the water breaking behind you, just slightly. It's not like a crash in the water or anything like that. You can just kind of hear ripples. It's very faint.
Okay.
And as you spin around before entering this building, you see a woman. She's dressed in all black, and she's of Asian descent, and she looks like she's in her late 60s. And she's just standing there in the swamp, down below you, looking up at you.
Ooh.
And she's by herself.
Hanzo, prepare a round in your rifle. Does she look combative or?
She's not. She
just
doesn't have.
staring at
She
us?
doesn't have a gun or weapon on her. She's just standing there. She's staring at you. When you turn around and notice her, she motions to you to come down.
What's her outfit? Like, is she wearing what we would expect somebody to wear if they were in a cryo chamber for UA?
No. She's wearing black top, black pants.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we recognize that? Like, as
There is no emblems. There's no insignias. There's no patches or anything on her.
Great. She's the thing that burst out of that guy's chest.
Aradia, you stay here with Hanzo and cover us.
Sounds good.
Mr. Gannon, stay behind Aradia. Seth, come with me. Let's approach.
Got it.
Hanzo takes aim.
I have my sword at the ready, ready to pull it out.
Do you speak English?
Yeah. She kind of nods her head to you. She says, "What are you doing on my planet?"
Pretty important to be able to claim an entire planet. I didn't realize we were speaking to the Queen.
Well, not the Queen. Just my people and I live here. We settled here after the Dog War, and I don't want your latest war finding itself on my doorstep.
We will be leaving within a few hours.
Yes, well, you and that UPP commando outfit that we saw touch down not too long ago seem to both be headed here.
Are you able to give me an idea of which direction they came from?
No. I'm hoping the two of you kill each other.
Would your people happen to have rocket launchers?
Those were my people that you killed when you landed.
Yeah. They weren't the best shots, but we were decent. Right, Aradia?
Yes, sir. Thumbs up.
She got
Yeah.
all three of them with one go. It might be best if you stay clear of us.
Might be best if you just leave this planet. We are everywhere. We see everything. And we know everything that's going on, and you don't necessarily always see us.
We'll be gone as quick as we can. We have no desire to dilly-dally here.
You won't find anything on that ship over there. My people investigated that wreck about a week after the crash, and we stripped it of all its rations, rifles, and ammo.
Good to know.
It might also be
you-
good to know that a strange black beast makes that its home, and it killed 3 of my people.
Great news. Do you happen to have the flight recorder from the vessel? You might be able to help get us out of here more quickly.
She's just staring at you. She doesn't seem to budge or anything, even with the mention of something specific. She goes, "No, there's no use. What use would that have? What we have with that?"
Yeah, absolutely. I can't see it helping you at all.
So you say you're
Anything
here for the
else?
flight recorder, then?
We're here for a few things.
Hmm.
I don't
Good to know.
see. Yeah, great. Good to know. Anyway, have a great day.
Like I said, we're everywhere.
I will happily, if this person shows up again, ask for the shot to be taken by Hanzo.
She just stands there and stares at the group of you. She doesn't move. She's got her arms behind her back, standing there in about knee-deep water. Like I said, she's probably in her late 60s.
I radio up to our lieutenant and say, "Do you think it's worth asking her about that odd skeleton that we found, sir?"
Yeah, any information on what happened to our comrade who was in that cryo chamber over there that had its chest ripped out?
She spins around and looks at it. We believe that's where the Black Beast came from, that now calls that ship its nest.
If I'm able to destroy this creature, would you be able to help me get off of this rock?
We have no means to get off here. We don't have ships. We came here to get away from the war, to get away from you, to get away from the UPP, and now you're on our doorstep.
Yeah, these things unfortunately happen. We will be leaving as quick as we can, and there is no tactical advantage to staying here, so we won't be back.
Very good.
Do we have an understanding? Can we leave each other alone?
She doesn't answer. She doesn't answer. She doesn't flinch. She stands there perfectly still, just staring at you.
I'm going to take your silence as agreement. Have a good day. You can turn around and go.
Sure. Let's turn around, Mr. Gannon. It's like, what are we gonna do with her? Why is she here? What is she? Maybe she's UPP. You're just gonna let her go?
She lives here, and she's already lost 3 soldiers to us. She doesn't want to put any more of her people at risk. And to be honest, I don't want to put any of us at risk. So we're just going to let bygones be bygones, and we're not going to get into a outnumbered battle with the hundreds of locals when she did tell us that there is a group of UPP on their way. So we're going to be out of here as quick as we can. Let's start moving.
You got it.
He sighs. He looks at the rest of the Marines. What is this? We're leaving. We're leaving witnesses. They can't know what's here.
We have a indigenous population that lives on this planet that you can come back and destroy the entire planet, but we're not going to go weeding through the entire forest to get them all.
This is ridiculous. Oh, do we still have those barrels of explosives back at the dropship? Maybe we should find their village and blow them up.
I turn to him and I say, if you don't shut up, I'm going to assassinate you.
Assassinate?
Mr. Gannon, is that part of our mission objectives?
This is
We will
sensitive
be
information
sticking
that's
to
on
our
there.
mission.
This is imperative to the war. This will turn the tide of the war. This will win the war. What's located in here? Okay.
Great. Well, let's locate it first, then we'll worry about everything else after.
What
Let's
was
get
that
moving.
she was talking about a black beast back there?
You should go find out.
He looks
Why
at
don't you go
like,
in first? Why
I'm
don't you
sure-
go first?
No,
I'm sure it is just the ramblings of a indigenous population. They're afraid of the shadows in the dark. Let's get moving.
he's just kind of like as you all kind of charge forward.
Mr. Gannon, do you happen to have any PUPs, mapping devices, or do we have a map of the ship already?
Yeah, he throws up a couple more pups. He pulls them out of his bag and tosses them up and towards the doorway. They zoom past Hanzo and they map out the whole ship.
Do we have an idea where the flight recorder would be kept on this vessel?
Yeah, well, this is UPP, so I don't know. I don't know their ships as well as UA.
Okay, let's get a map. Let's work our way towards the bridge, and let's stop by any cryo chambers we have on the way. Marching orders: I'll go in front, Aradia behind me, followed by Hanzo, then Mr. Gannon, and Seth.
I got the rear.
Where,
So what's our
Any
marching
questions?
orders? What's our marching orders?
I'm
Revolver?
taking the lead, following Aradia, then Hanzo, then Mr. Gannon, and finally Seth.
Okay.
Seth, I need you to keep an eye behind us. You seem to be pretty observant. Let me know if you hear anything of a UPP unit.
Will do. And rifle is out, and keeping an eye back and everything like
Sun's
that.
out, guns out. Right, Seth?
Yeah. Yes.
Seth, you're like, who are these strange Marines that I'm ponied with?
I meant he's enjoying them. They're his kind of people.
All right, so I'm gonna say we get back to the aft airlock in engineering, and the door is blown open, and the inside door is open as well. This one was not sealed, but you shine your light down this long hallway, and there's like water on the ground, and it looks like as you go in, it's gonna get deeper and deeper because this ship is partially submerged in a swamp. You're gonna be wading through possibly waist deep or higher water as you get deeper and deeper into the ship. Ganon's on his PDAT. He's like, okay, up ahead, it looks like there might be a forked hallway, and I'm picking up a cargo bay, maybe, on either side. Maybe we should start there. A power station ahead of that.
Let's move on to the cargo bay. Let's see if we have the cargo we're looking for.
Okay, so I put you guys on a map, and you should all be able to control that little token.
I'm having trouble seeing the map here.
I'll ping you where you're at.
He's in the middle of a black space.
I just pinged where the token's at. You might have to zoom in.
There we go.
And you should move that. So he's got the map, and he's kind of looking at where you're going, but you're going to be walking through this dark, waterlogged ship. Let's kill the jungle sounds as you leave the jungle. There's monkeys everywhere in here.
And we have our like flashlight thingies.
You do have the flashlights mounted on your
Yeah.
shoulders.
Shoulder lamp, nice. Yeah, it's on.
Is everybody able to see the map, or is it just Bill who's having trouble with it?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I think I'm going to restart my foundry here quickly, see if that helps.
Okay, so any of you should be able to
Ooh.
control that token. Through here, let's switch this
Ooh,
music
yeah.
up. Yeah. So it's dark. Every once in a while, you hear like clanging and banging in the distance. You swear you hear footsteps or something scurrying. You look down, you see kind of ripples in the water swim past you. It's only about ankle deep so far.
Okay.
But you're scanning everywhere, up and down this long, narrow hallway with your flashlight. And Ganon kind of like knocks on the wall and goes, fuel cells, either side. Don't shoot near. So if you want to move forward, you can. You can move that token forward. He says there's a T junction up ahead, and it looks like maybe 2 cargo rooms up there.
Okay.
I seem to be running blind.
Okay, that's all right. You can watch the stream. So you get
That's
to the
what I'm
T
doing.
junction, and he goes,
Ah.
"Okay, to our left. I don't know, maybe crew quarters that way. To our right, water." And you look down the hallway to the right, and you can see that it's waterlogged and it's kind of like seeping up and towards you. He says, "Straight ahead on either side, it appears there's cargo bays and maybe a power station of sorts in front of us, possibly on the other side of that." He turns to you, Revolver. He goes, "It's your decision, Lieutenant."
Let's go
And
to the
he's all
cargo
kind of
bay.
like creeped out the whole time. He's like staying close. Who's in front? Hanzo's in front of him. He's like staying really close to you, Hanzo.
As
Like
far as I
bumping
know,
into you.
there's
Hanzo,
no reason for us to be super stealth, so we should all have our lights on. And
Lights on, and you're kind of splashing as you go, unless you're wanting to like really be quiet and aware
Yeah,
of
no,
your
I'm-
movements.
I'm not afraid of some, boogeyman from the natives.
Hanzo turns back to Ganon and he says, "It would be a real shame. Got in my way of a shot. An accident took a bullet. So why don't you back a step?"
He kind of looks at you, he backs up. He's like, "What's wrong with all of you?"
Anyway, off to the cargo bay, I think, is the mission here. Let's go check that first. Do we have an idea which direction is the bridge? Or not yet?
He looks down at his PDAT, and he goes, "We got to keep heading the way we're going if we want to get to the bridge."
Okay.
And I think the hyperspace bay, or the hypersleep bay, is also in that direction, from what I can tell.
Let's check the cargo quickly on our way through, and they may consider their stolen sleeper units cargo, so let's check their equip first and continue on our way.
Yeah, so you've got a doorway to the north and a doorway to the south as you get to these 2 rooms. As your light shines in that one to the south, you see what appears to be like a shadow, almost like a humanoid shadow, being cast up against the wall behind it. And as you get closer, it looks like there's 2 UPP model power loaders in there. And at first, you're kind of like taken aback by the shadows as they dance across the wall because they're human shaped, and you keep hearing like things splooshing and splashing and moving in the water all around you.
Okay, well, we don't need
Like-
power loaders, so let's go to the other one.
There's Do you want to poke your head in either? You can poke your head in either or.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You take
poke
a
our
look in
head
there.
in both sides.
Should we go north or south first?
Let's look in the cargo base north.
They're both cargo bays, yeah. So north.
Yeah.
So you step in there, and this is the port cargo deck. And you look around this room. You scan your lights, and it's filled with aluminum cargo boxes. They're tumbled and scattered all around. Like at one time, it looks like they were stacked up here neatly, but someone or something's definitely been in here, and most of them are opened. And it looks
So-
like some of them are floating in water. There's a few odd supplies like junk and stuff floating in the water, and it looks like anything of use has probably been ransacked from here. And also there's like rust and rot on the objects you do find that are floating in the water in here.
Well, this is clearly one of the places that was already looted, so let's just get back in the hallway and continue down.
Okay, the starboard cargo deck. There's a large door here, and it's buckled and burst outwards, so towards you, and which allows for easy access inside. As you enter, light filters in through cracks and rips on the exterior hull, and that's when you get a good look at two partially submerged BYK power loaders, which are like UPP knockoff power loaders.
Glory to the proletariat. Let's
So water's also seeping in from the south end of this room, and this is probably there's a good chance that maybe those local kind of like guerrilla fighters, this is maybe how they got in here, because that aft door was sealed when you arrived, but they definitely said they'd come in here and taken what they needed.
sounds right, and there's nowhere else to go in this room.
No, there's nowhere else to go in this room.
All right, let's continue on down the hallway.
Okay. As you go back into the hallway there, Mr. Revolver, you notice two ripples moving side by side in the water towards you.
How deep is the water?
The water is about waist deep now at this point.
How close are they to me?
They're about 15 feet away and headed in your direction. But there's definitely something is breaking the water. There's a wake.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, a radia. Light it up.
Lighting it up, sir.
Just start firing into the water? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just start firing into the water.
Yeah,
We
do it.
don't want to run into whatever this problem is.
You
That's a lot
start.
of successes.
That is a lot of successes. You start firing, and you seem to hit something, and all of a
It's a
sudden,
person.
this it's Sergeant Quill Riverby. All of a sudden, it's because that's the token that we're using. I haven't selected. All of a sudden, one of these shapes stops moving, and like reddish brown like blood fills the water. The other one keeps moving towards the group of you. And let's go ahead and let's enter initiative. We don't have a map for this or anything. This is going to be more theater of the mind. I'll just put tokens out for everybody, and we'll do this.
Oh, thank you. Did Ganon get upset because we shot inside this
Yeah, what-
place?
What the hell are you doing?
Keeping you alive.
I'm just putting tokens on the map here for you for this encounter. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! That could be what we're here for!
It's a weird way for what we're here for to approach us, swimming through the water when we've heard tales of a beast in here.
Okay, so go ahead, break out the combat tracker. Remember that we've now added, you can click the die on there instead of drawing cards.
Ooh. The die.
So click the die
where's that?
after. There's like a D20 after Seth on the combat tracker.
Oh.
And if you click on that, it'll pull from a deck of 10 cards. Oh!
Running fish.
So, Seth, you're up first. You're at the very back, though, based off of our setup. So you see these ripples coming towards Lieutenant Revolver in the water.
Oof, ooh. Swords out. I mean,
Swords out!
Seth will go in front of and try to start just stabbing at, since Ganon's complaining about us shooting. He doesn't want to blow us up. And so he's gonna... Uh-oh. I'm getting that lovely
Ganon, you're right. You pull out your sword, and Ganon's like, what are you... Wait! And he puts his hands up. What are you doing? Stop!
I'm just getting rid of what's in our way, clearly.
Yeah,
we need to get...
You can shove him aside.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the way, Poindexter.
Yeah.
All right, you push aside. So this thing, it's moving towards you. So yeah, you can close the gap and try to swing at it with your sword this round. I'll give it to you.
Okay, lovely. I still got it.
You got a success. I'm looking. I'm like, really? You got a success on 2 dice?
Oh, the champion. Oh, yep. I guess I got it.
You should push that.
Oh my. Okay.
No.
Oh no.
I did it. Oh my god, another success.
Did you really?
Yep.
2 damage. So you what?
So you get 3.
So you get close to this thing, and you're actually able to see it. Sam.
Ooh.
And this is like a long, brown, almost millipede-like looking fish creature. And this thing's like 2 meters long. These things are huge, with big, flattened bodies.
It's a big bug.
And it's just kind of swimming its way towards you. So you slice, and you hit this thing. How many hit points does this have? I gotta double check this now.
Oof.
And all of a sudden, it just kind of withers up into a ball, and more of this reddish brown blood fills the water.
Okay. And Seth looks back and says, are there any more ripples in the water? I got it. You owe me a drink.
You don't see any more ripples in water. Aradia, go ahead and make me an observation roll. This won't count towards one of your actions. It's your turn, though. You hear, like, movement on the metal bulkhead, and you look up and you swing your light, and you can see 3 more of these things skittering up along the walls and, like, up on the roof, moving in your direction. 2 from the south and 1 from the north, or I guess for looking at the map here, 1 from the east and 2 from the west. So 2 behind you and 1 in front of you. And these ones aren't in the water. They're clinging to the bulkhead and head in your direction.
Okay, I would probably shoot at the one coming from the one direction, so we can all be focused in the same direction.
All right, take a shot, please. Oh, yeah. Do you want to push it?
No, thank you.
All right, its armor stops 1 point of damage, but you did 4 points of damage?
Yes.
So this one just goes, and it lets out like kind of like the little squeal as it falls into pieces into the water right in front of Seth. Clarence, there's 2 to the south, 2 behind you, coming at you, to the west.
Oh yeah, I make a comment to say that there are 2 on the ceiling. I tell them that there's 2 on the ceiling.
Am I able to get to them with my sword, or...?
No, you will not be able to reach them with the sword. The ceiling's too high.
Yep. I'm going to pull out the rifle I'm terrible with then and take a shot.
Do it.
You got this.
Oh, yeah. Revolver. You want to push it?
Nah.
All right.
Sounds so inviting, Matt.
I know, right? Do you want to push it? You open fire on that one. Its armor soaks up nothing because I'm rolling terrible for armor. And it also just like kind of squeals and falls into the water with a sploosh. It's their turn. So at the back is Ganon, and it's going to try and bite Ganon. That's not good.
Oh. Is that so?
All right,
Okay.
so attacks with 5 base dice. Oh, poor Ganon.
So, question. They're in
Yes.
short range of me.
Yes.
I roll mobility to try to take the hit.
Yes, you do. But my
Dang it!
thing did not. But it did not roll any 6s. It didn't hit. So this thing's like skittering along the roof, and it like drops down into the water, and he kind of like winces back. He's like, oh, and he takes his PDAT and just kind of like starts splashing the water at this thing, and it gets confused and disoriented, and it does not hit him. Hanzo, over to you. There's one of these things near you in the water.
So Hanzo takes aim, looks at Ganon, his head, and fires.
Which one are you firing at, Ganon or the creature?
The creature. The creature.
All right, you fire. Keeping it together. Keeping it together. Oh my goodness! I rolled terrible for their armor. I get right through this bullet. Like the echo from your shot just rings out through these hallways. If there was any element of stealth before this, it is completely gone. And the bullet kind of keeps traveling down this hallway as it just rips right through its target. And you now have a bunch of dead bug fish around you.
So Hanzo leans down, picks a big coil of this thing up, and plops it in Ganon's arms, and he goes, "There you go. You wanted one. Yours to carry."
He kind of like recoils, and he's like, no, that's not it. No. And he kind of just like pushes it back in the water.
Well done, Marines. We've dealt with the monster. Let's keep going.
Clear, Lieutenant.
He kind of like hustles up to you, and he's like, this is not to be joked about. This is to be taken seriously. These things are not what we're expecting here. Is that understood, Lieutenant? And you shouldn't be so willy-nilly with opening fire on the next thing you encounter.
So I'll take out the enemy combatants with a nice hug. Let's keep moving forward. We have a mission to complete.
He just under his breath, he goes, asshole.
Appropriate?
Accurate? Okay, you want to push forward? I think I unpaused it, so you're able to move forward now. You move forward,
Ooh.
and there is a door. He goes, that's the power station. It's the power station up ahead. We should see what kind of shape this place is in. This ship is in.
Sounds good. You want to try and get it up and running?
Hmm.
Yeah, so you enter
Is
the
Ganon good with technology
Is
stuff?
he good at that stuff?
Yeah, he's the Poindexter, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah. He's looking on his PDAT, and he's looking at all the various machines in the power station. There is a ladder leading down, but there's, like, water, like, right at the very top of the ladder. Like, it's completely submerged. And he's kind of scanning the room, and he's looking at the various components in here and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, we might be able to get the batteries back online here if we're lucky. I'll get one shot at it, but yeah, I think we could do it. I think we could probably get some of the power back on here. Maybe we could use the relay here on the ship then to contact for pickup.
Great plan. Make it happen.
It is a hard, heavy machinery roll. Who wants to make that?
I will.
You're
So
Mr.
that's strength, right?
Yeah, you're Mr. 7 strength. Hard roll though.
Is
I've
a
read a book
minus
on
one.
it.
You've read a book?
Hard is -1, or
Yes, I believe hard is a -1. Double check here.
am I able to get help from anybody?
I read a book on it.
Yeah, Radiant's read a
Insist.
book.
Okay,
Maybe
so
like I wouldn't really do it that maybe this way. Like I'm giving like tips. I'm backseat driving this.
back
Hard-
into it.
Hard is a -2.
Okay, so -1 with the help.
Yeah. Has anybody else read books on heavy machinery? He's like,
Nah.
Ganon's
Not-
like over both of your shoulders. He's like, don't mess this up.
While this is going on, Hanzo turns to Seth and says, "You got anything on your motion tracker?" Very
He
nice
looks at
success.
it.
Yeah,
Do I see anything?
You want to roll that for me? Roll your motion
All right.
tracker.
Oh, is that an equipment thing we can
Yeah,
roll now?
I think it's like 5 dice for the standard
Ooh.
motion tracker.
Okay, I'll just do 5d6s then.
Yeah.
Any of them 6s?
Ooh,
No. It's not nothing
Well,
picking up.
you pick up bleeps and blips here and there, and then they
Mhm.
almost seem to just disappear into
I
like
smack the
thin air.
side of it, and I'm like, it's messing up. All this dampness must be messing with the signal.
So, with that, you're greeted by a screen, and you're able to select 3 sections of your choosing where you can put power supply back on the ship.
Ooh. Okay.
What?
Like,
what-
What are the choices?
All right,
Yeah.
so different areas of the ship are we have. There's like mess hall, dormitories. That's not really important stuff. A sensor maintenance bay. That's the sensor suite for this ship, and would probably be your best chance for trying to get communications back to your ship to get out of here. There is also showers, dormitories, the life support bay, the hypersleep bay, a med bay, a guard room, the computer mainframe, a briefing room. I'm just going through all
Jeez,
the
there's
different
a
rooms because he's
lot
kind
of
of like
choice.
reading through this on his PDAT. So that's
Wait,
What
those
do
are
you
your
think?
options.
What do you think, Lieutenant? The sensors, computer mainframe, and cryo? That sounds like our 3 mission objectives.
Yeah, would sensors include our communications?
So the sensor, it'd be the sensor maintenance bay, and that's where you'd have to tap into and use the antenna that's outside this ship. So it would be tied to that area to try and make
Yes.
contact to get out of here to get your extraction.
Excellent idea, Hanzo. Let's go with that one for sure. Followed by, I like all 3 of those.
So we're doing what? Sensor
The-
maintenance bay.
Sensor maintenance bay, and then you said cryo?
Yeah, cryo and mainframe.
Yep. Mainframe is hopefully going to tell us where we can get the
Flight recorder.
flight recorder.
Okay. You select these on the screen, and all of a sudden they boom, 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 boom. They light up on the screen in front of you. There's like a little square kind of lights up around each of those rooms, indicating that there is power to them.
Which one is closest to us?
Good question. So,
This is how I split the party in 3, by the way.
Excellent.
this closest to you would be the hypersleep bay. It is due east of where you're at, just down the hallway from where you're at. The sensor maintenance bay is actually just north of it, and the computer mainframe is off of the sensor maintenance bay to the northeast of here. So your closest next place will be the hypersleep bay. You can see the little map of this ship now in front of you. You can see that there's a life support bay just south of you. Just north of you is a mess hall, showers and heads. There's dormitories north of you. It looks like there's a little workshop north of you. Anything that's south of here, for the most part, seems to be buried underwater, submerged. Not buried, submerged underwater.
So maybe actually first we should go call for help, as we have a party of enemy combatants on their way to us, and maybe we can get some aerial support and have them dealt with while we finish our other 2 objectives.
Just remember that the canopy of this jungle is so dense and thick you can't even really see the sun poking through it.
It would be a good idea to have them ready to get us when we are ready to leave. Try and be ready to go as quick as we can. Not be waiting on them.
Mr. Gannon goes, Are you mad? Our mission is to get to that hyper sleep chamber. It's right in front of us. We need to see if there's any survivors. This is first and foremost Weyland-Yutani.
I will humor you this time, Mr. Gannon. Let's go to the hyperspace chamber.
You see, he's very proud of himself. He's just like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to be executing this guy shortly.
Cringe at the ready.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So you want to continue on down the hallway?
Yes, please.
All right. Continue on easterly, if you will, Marines, whoever's controlling. All right, your hypersleep bay is just there to the south. The door is open and the power is on. You approach and there's light shining down the hallway and out here. The water it's gotten a little bit lower. It's about to your knees here, and it's just kind of like waiting at the bottom of all the cryo sleep tubes that are in this room. You do notice that there is a section of the wall that is has a big gash in it. And just kind of doing a quick look, it appears one of the cryo sleep pods is gone. You can only assume that it went through that crack in the hull.
Are these UA or UPP cryosleep pods?
You enter the room and you look at them. These are all UA. Everything is in English on them. They have UA markings all over them.
Is there anybody alive in any of these?
You kind of start walking up and down the rows of them, and you're scanning them. And you even go over to the one. There's a terminal in here, and you look at the terminal, and it says 16 of the pods are offline, and they're like half buried in muck. You kind of scan your lights on them, and they all seem to have like putrid skeletons remaining in them. But the computer shows that there's 3 pods online, and when you look over in the corner, they're faintly glowing.
Okay, so these are the people we've got to get out of here.
Here, Lieutenant, are we reviving them? We taking the pods? What's the plan?
I would prefer to be able to take the pods and not revive them here, as we probably can't deal with long-term hypersleep sickness.
Yes. That's right. Gannon says, "We take the pods. Don't open them up.
Yes. How will we take the pods, though?
Well,
we need to get a
we'll call
ship
it
here
in.
immediately.
We'll call it in, obviously, but we need to find
Yes.
the flight recorder, and we need to We should do a diagnostic on the 3 survivors."
Okay. Why
Yes,
don't
we
you stay
should.
here and do the diagnostic while we push on to the flight recorder? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can someone stay with me? He says.
Seth has pulls out their electronic toolkit that gives them an extra book in Comtech and says, "I can help if need be."
Mr. Gannon, we have a group of enemy combatants on their way to us as we speak. We can do the diagnostic once we have these actually secured. That is not priority. We will get them off this rock
I
and
need
move
to
on.
understand. I need to understand what shape they're in. Okay, before we move on, I need to record this. We need to understand.
You are
if they're
welcome to
alive?
stay here by yourself.
He lets out a sigh. You're defying direct
I am-
orders.
Not defying my orders, sir.
Your orders are the same as mine. Need I remind you?
My orders are to secure these and get them off of this planet as quickly as possible.
Fine. Where are we heading next? He says.
We're going off to the. What's next what's next closest?
Would be to the north. You would be the sensor array.
Off to the sensor array.
Yeah, as you're turning and leaving the room, all of a sudden you hear alarms going off from one of those 3 cryopods. And as that happens, the dome lets out a hiss and it starts to lift up.
Great.
Don't like that.
Well,
Seth moves right to it, keeping an eye out to see what's going on. He's like, "I'll
Yeah.
investigate."
Yeah,
Takes
you
his,
start
has
moving
his sword.
towards it, and as you get closer, it looks like the other two, they're like really, really fogged up. The ones that are still sealed, and there's a man in there, and he's starting to sit up, and he's like grabbing his throat. He's kind of coughing. He peels this thing off of his face. It almost looks like a breather mask of some sort, but it's like organic. And he pulls this thing off his face and tosses it aside, and he's coughing and gasping for air.
What's wrong? What's happened?
Oh, I can't breathe. This damn thing on my throat. Where am I? Why are there Marines?
We're here to get you out.
You mean get me out? Last I remember,
Don't you see the water everywhere? All the
Trans-
guck and monk?
what? Yeah,
This place isn't safe.
Where? I was being transported with these others, and it was. We were
Pulls out some
chosen for this
some
experiment.
pulls out some X drugs. Says like, here, this will calm you down.
And yeah, Mr. Gannon like scuttles over. He's like, that's enough. Don't talk. That's enough. That's enough. What is your designation? He looks down at the pod and he makes note. He's like, HK441307. Very good. Okay. And he takes out his little scanner. He starts scanning the man and doing diagnostics on him. He says, we need to get this man to the medical bay. I need a full diagnostics on him to ensure that he's okay and that, like I said, these people are carrying something that can change and end this war. We need to ensure that
power up the medical bay.
Well, we need to see if at least we can get in there and things are online, okay?
I have my medical equipment. I'm sure I can give them enough of a look over to find out if they're okay or not.
Mr. Gannon, can you make sure the other two pods are not going to awaken?
Because yes, and you don't touch this man. And he looks over at you, revolver. He's like, kind of like, hey, keep your Marines in line.
He's right. Please try to give this man some space.
Will do, and I do, and I move to Aradia and sit tight.
So he goes to the other two pods and he makes note HK4413-8 and -9. One's a male, one's a female. He just looks them over for a little while and turns to you, Lieutenant. Says, they appear to be okay. They don't appear to be disrupted. It looks like we could probably move them in their cryosleep tubes without, or pods, without disrupting them. This man, we need to ensure that whatever he is carrying is intact.
Is he carrying some sort of contagious disease?
No.
No. What's our biological risk?
None to you. None to you. It's embryos. They carry embryos.
Huh? Hanzo looks at he's like, Lieutenant, orders.
We're take him with us. We're not going to be doing medical science on this gentleman in the destroyed ship on some backwater world in the middle of nowhere. That's absolute nonsense. We're going to get him to our main base, and we're going to let the jugheads there deal with him.
Clear.
All right, what's the marching order? Where are you putting this guy? He's in like his undies. He gets some clothes. And,
he's in front of Gannon.
Okay. All right. So you're marching north?
Yeah, I think I'm also going to have Hanzo move to be in front of Seth so that we have these two non-combatives in the middle.
Okay.
You okay with that, Hanzo?
Clear, sir.
I don't want Seth by himself at the back either.
Understood.
Where he can get stabbed.
Okay, let's continue forward.
Push on. Okay. So ahead of you is looks like showers shower room. I don't know if you want to go in there and investigate that. To the north, at this junction, is where it will lead you to the sensor maintenance bay. It'll be at the very north end of this hallway.
Let's move.
Hey, sensor maintenance bay. So you get into the next area, the sensor maintenance bay, and it looks like it was a technical area used to calibrate this vessel's sensor suite. And you remember that spiked sensor antenna that was outside that was kind of blinking? It looks like this leads directly out to that. That was the trail or the comms that you were following to make your way here.
Perfect. Mr. Gannon, are you capable of patching into this technology and using it to call for a flight out of here?
He looks over everything. He's like, it's very damaged. We're going to have to do some jury rigging to get this thing online.
I mean, the other option is to go native and live on this stupid shithole planet. So, yeah, let's get to work.
All right. So this will require a Comtech roll and a heavy machinery roll. Two different people can make them to get this thing jury rigged up and operational.
The heavy machinery got any negatives?
Nope, no negatives to this roll.
I'll do that one.
Seth can, if Gannon, is Gannon doing the Comtech?
No, he wasn't going to volunteer for it.
I can do the Comtech then. I have some of that. I have 2 books in total. So let's see.
Well, everybody take a stress.
Everybody takes a stress as Clarence is in there working on heavy machinery. He's not really made for this. He hasn't. Have you read any books on it? No, you have not read any books on it.
No, I'm relying on being strong.
Pure muscle, and he kind of like bumps into a few things. You hear some noises, but he's confident that he got this thing operational. So go ahead and roll your stress.
I got stress as well. Nervous twitch.
Everybody take another stress.
This is this is why we bring nap relief.
Between the two of you, you manage to get done. It comes up online, but Gannon looks at his PDA. He's like, commandos, whatever, guerrillas, everybody knows we're here now. We need to get through this place. We need to find that damn flight recorder, and we need to get out of here.
Okay,
we should have done this last. Why did we do this first? He's all...
Because we need to get help down here immediately. We can get the flight recorder while we wait for the help to arrive.
I don't think this was the wisest move.
Well, that's great to tell us afterwards.
Well, you're in charge. I thought you could, make the proper decision. But now everybody in this area, planet side or not, knows we're here.
I'm in charge?
Are you sending a signal back to our ship to come get us?
Absolutely. If I'm in charge, your new order is to shut the hell up and let me do my job. And yeah, let's get on the horn and see if we can get somebody here and have them bring a ship capable of getting a couple cryopods out of there too.
Yeah, so you radio up and you actually get a signal back to your ship. And then we thought we were shot down. You're still active. Send us your coordinates and we'll send a ship down to get you. What is the status of the mission?
Mission is almost complete. We need a ship capable of removing some cryopods, and we have some UPP combatants on their way to our location. It might be helpful to have some level of gunship capable of securing our location.
Okay. Roger. We'll send a ship down as soon as possible. We have heavy UPP activity in the area.
Yeah, we're about to have heavy UPP activity down here. We'll be ready.
Okay. Gannon kind of holds his arm out towards the next target and goes, "Shall we, Lieutenant? The computer mainframe is just down the hallway."
Let's go.
Yeah, the water subsides quite a bit as you're walking through here. It's probably only at your ankles at this point, and it's all lit up here in the sensor maintenance bay. And you continue on easterly down the hall, and you can see light shining out from the room up ahead as you had also turned on the computer mainframe. As you get in here, though, you notice the back end of the room is submerged in water, and the front end, like where you enter, is all dry, but towards the back where all the machinery and everything are is all underwater. And Ganon's on his PDAT. He's like, it's here. It's in here. The flight recorder is in this room somewhere, and he's like scanning, looking around this whole place, going to the computer terminals. They're not working really because of the water. If calculation is correct, it should be in that machine there. And he points at a machine at the far end of the room that is completely submerged underwater. He says, someone's gonna have to go down there, get the damn thing out, cut it, pry it loose, I don't care how, and get the flight recorder out of there.
Aradia, you're in charge. And I start walking into the water with my sword in my hand.
Okay.
Hanzo would move back to the bend in the corridor and take up Overwatch back towards the sensor suite.
Okay. So you get down there, and you're going to have to swim underwater. I'm going to need you to make me a heavy machinery roll to cut this thing loose. And it's going to take 6 rounds to do so. You're going to have to hold your breath underwater and try to pry this thing loose.
So I've got to roll heavy machinery 6 times?
No, roll it once for me, please. All right, so you're down there, and the rest of you are kind of standing back, and you see him underwater, and he's poking and prodding, and he's prying away. He's got his katana out and his sword. And all around you is debris and knocked over machines, and you kind of look, and there's like the odd...
Hey, Matt, on the options here, with my extra successes, I'd like to say I do it quickly in half the time it would normally take.
So it takes 3 rounds instead.
And I act quietly on the other success.
Yeah. So you're acting quietly. You're prying this thing free after you've dove in the water. And you notice there's some movement in the debris near you. And you look over, and you see this, like, curved, shaped head, completely black creature with a long tail swim out towards you while you're in the middle of breaking this thing free.
Ooh.
Am I able to get to air, or
You're gonna have to make a choice.
where it's going to be on top of me, or
Yeah, this is in the middle of you fighting to get this thing free.
Ooh, do I try and kill an alien by myself underwater with a sword? Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the to stand up.
You're not gonna try and kill an alien by yourself underwater with a sword?
Yeah, no, it sounds epic as hell. It also sounds like a terrible idea.
I think you should do it. Alright, let's enter combat again. Alright, bear with me here while we get this set up. Ooh, there's 2 xenomorphs in here.
Am I able to, does the thing scare me at all when I see
Oh yeah,
it?
you take a panic, sorry.
Oh yeah.
And everybody else
So
is gonna
if
take a
I'm-
panic when they see it too.
If I'm automatically taking a panic, I'm saying, what the hell is that? And I'm getting out of there.
You or take a stress, I'm sorry. You take a stress as soon as you see this thing. Let's change the music to something else.
Oh, we've been waiting so long for this. Thank God.
I know.
This is your first glimpse. All right, let's break out the combat tracker. Let's roll our initiatives.
Oh, this music. I love it.
Oh, yes, perfect. I got a 9.
Rolled it.
Oh, I didn't get mine. Just wait. Or did I do
And the Xenomorph got a 10 and a 1.
8?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
Ouch.
All right. So, let's begin combat. This thing swims out of the water towards you as you're trying to break the flight recorder free. This long, skinny, all-black creature, and it makes you think of this thing that the woman you spoke to outside the ship told you about.
The Black Beast.
And it gets to go first. As it swims at you silently, cutting through the water. Oh my god. Okay. So
wow.
It swims towards you, and as it does so, its mouth
This is
opens
literally
up.
how I die. Awesome.
And as its mouth opens, a smaller inner jaw starts to lean out and gnashes with anticipation before it snaps at you. You turn around to see this thing. Oh, let's see if the dice do.
This is literally I die immediate.
I got 2 successes. Okay.
Armor.
If it causes any damage, it automatically inflicts critical entry 64, killing the victim with 1 dreadful blow. However, the GM should wish the victim to remain alive. Okay, so I got 2 successes on its dice. So go ahead and roll your armor. This is also a melee attack, right?
Oh boy.
No successes.
No.
Do you want to use your 1 action to try and dodge this?
Of course. What do I need to roll to dodge it?
Close combat. What? What? Okay, so you
You do know I am
blocking.
great
Blocking
at
is a
close
fast action. So decrease. What?
Literally what I'm built for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're unarmed. Unarmed PCs can only block unarmed attacks from other humans. This isn't a human.
I thought he had his katana.
Oh, you did have your katana out. You're right to pry it free. Thank you. Okay. Wow. You got a lot of successes there. People were looking for blood, and you just denied them of that. So, what you
Good.
can do for each success, you can remove 1 point of damage from their successes, and you can cancel it out completely, so the attack misses. You can also counterattack and deal damage equal to damage of the weapon. Cannot spend successes to increase damage. So you can negate it. With all those successes there, you can negate, because it was only going to do 3 points of damage to you, based off the number of successes I rolled. So you can use 3 of those successes to negate the damage, canceling it out. And you can do a counterattack, deal damage equal to damage of weapon.
Yeah, let's do that. And am I also able to knock it to the ground, or that's only
No.
human?
Yeah. And you're in the water.
So yeah, let's do that. No damage, and it takes 2. And I take acid.
How much? How?
Yeah, you got acid in the water now with you. That's
At
not
least
good.
that would dilute it a little bit, hopefully.
I'm gonna look like a used candle at the end of this.
I'm gonna roll its armor. Sorry. Did not expect this right out of the gates.
I love it.
No successes. So how much damage you? 2 or 3?
1 second. 2. 2 damage.
Okay, so it does. That's its acid splash. So you get to roll your armor for acid splash also. Stopping none of it.
Why am I wearing this stuff?
So take 2 points of acid splash damage as you slash at this thing. You did hurt it. You damaged it. And as you did so, all of a sudden this like green blood oozes out into the water. And it's like the water almost seems like it's kind of like sizzling around you, and it hits you and it burns your arm. You just kind of like scream underwater, and bubbles come out of your mouth, and it burns as it hits you, even though you're in water. And I'm gonna say that all of you see that there's a struggle happening underwater with him. Hanzo, over to you.
So, does Hanzo have any kind of visibility at this creature in the water?
Oh, see, that's
If
No.
not, as his fast action, he'll go into Overwatch.
Okay.
And if it pops up, he's going to take a shot.
Yeah, you don't really have a shot on this thing
So-
right now.
So he goes into Overwatch, observing the pool, and as soon as an unfriendly shows its face or lack of face, he will shoot.
Seth, over to you.
Seth is going to pull out their rifle and keep it trained on the waters. Actually, no, they're gonna keep an eye out for anything else right now. Actually, so they have their gun out there, just like waiting. Overwatch.
Okay. 2 Overwatches. Clarence, over to you. You've used your fast action. You can use your slow action to like move also, so just get out of the water.
I'm
Because you're
getting
also
the
you're
hell out
gonna
of the
suffocate
water.
also if you
Yep.
stay down there too long.
I'm out of the water.
Okay, so move your token just to the edge of the water then.
Did that go the right direction?
Yep, looks good to me. Aradia. So you see Clarence burst out of the water. I'm assuming you're holding like wherever the burn is. Lieutenant
Yeah.
Revolver.
I'm sizzling, and there's a whole bunch of my face and arm that looks like it's melting.
Okay. What's behind this creature that I definitely don't know what it is? What's
The-
behind this creature?
It's just machinery. That's where Revolver was down there trying to pry free the flight recorder. Submerged underwater.
It's still under there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use my smart gunner. I was about to drop it and do the RPG.
No. What?
Nice.
All right, you can fire at it, but
Again.
it's going to be at a -2.
Okay, because it's underwater.
Yeah. Or you can wait on Overwatch like the others if you want.
I'm gonna fire at it. I'm gonna
Do it.
So to do that, I right click, and
Yep.
then I do -2 to the base mod.
Yep.
Cool. I hit it once for 3 damage.
Let's check. Let's do an armor roll here. It's armor piercing?
Yes, it's my smart gun, so
Okay. So it does 2 points of damage to
the armor
it?
piercing. Yeah.
Wow. All right. You hit this thing and you see it squirm in the water. More of this blood kind of just starts to like surface. With that, Aradia, I rolled earlier. You hear movement. You look up above you, and a vent gets peeled away as you see another one of these creatures hiss and look down at you. That was the one that had the 10 on the comic tracker that wasn't supposed to be on there yet.
Yeah?
Surprise you. Everybody take a panic who didn't take a panic before from seeing the xenomorph. As you see this like shiny black, all black, sleek creature looking down at Aradia from the vents and hissing.
So since I see it and I'm on Overwatch, can I shoot at it?
Yes, I will give you a shot. Same with Seth.
Do we do the panic first or no?
It's a
Take the
stress.
stress. It's a stress, yeah. So damage 2. Ooh.
Oh, we just take 1 point of stress is what you meant? Or just roll
yes,
stress?
1 point of
Sorry.
stress.
Just,
Sure. Okay, sorry.
Thankfully, no. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I do 4 points of damage to it, depending on its armor.
And is it armor piercing?
Armor piercing.
Okay,
Yep.
good stuff.
There we go. Oh, that's stress. All right, roll stress time. Oh, I dropped the item. I shoot and drop my gun. No.
And your stress goes up by another one?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you drop your syringes.
Ah! Oh my
How much
gosh.
damage did you roll? 2, 3 points of damage?
Let's see. Yeah, total of 3.
Okay, so you both hit it, but unfortunately, acid is going to rain down on Aradia
Oh,
as you do
no.
so.
Oh,
So you shoot, and it hisses, and it kind of coils back, and all of a sudden this acid blood spews out of it, so it's raining down on Aradia, doing 3 points of damage. Roll your armor, Aradia,
That's rough.
as this acid rain comes down on you.
I don't think I have personnel armor and a ghillie suit. I don't think I have anything.
You don't have it. You should have armor. I'm
got-
gonna take a
You
look.
should have 6 armor. We all have
Yeah.
6 armor.
Yeah.
I have
You
6
do. So
armor,
just
but how do I
Click
how
the
do I
word
roll for
armor.
it? Yeah, I'm clicking my armor. It's not.
I'll roll it for you. It stopped
Thank you.
1 of the 3 points of acid damage.
I'm down.
It also reduces
Oh,
your
no.
armor by 1 point permanently,
Okay.
and it continues to eat through you, like halving itself every round as it kind of like dissipates.
I'm down. Sorry, I didn't mean to roll that. That was an accident.
It's all
Unless
good.
I'm down and that makes sense, then I actually did the right thing. Is that technically right? I'm down at 0, so I should have rolled a
Yeah.
critical injury. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, did you roll one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a
Broken
broken
hand.
hand.
All right, broken arm. So this acid sprays down on you, and it lands on your arm. Oh, ooh, rendering your hand unusable. It like lands like right on your wrist and like on your hand, we'll say. And you scream and you pass out from the pain.
Oh no.
And it'll take 2 days to heal this.
Is it normal for me to only have 2 health? Is that right?
Most
What is your
characters in
strength?
What's your strength?
My strength is 5.
You should
Oh.
have 5 health.
You should have 5, hit points.
I'm not down. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was like, that makes I'm at 3 health.
I thought
Okay.
you were
Yeah.
beefier than.
Yeah, I was like,
I had
Seth,
checked.
yeah,
Let me
I'm
put
the
myself
one
back
with 2
into panic.
health. Old man.
All right, well, this thing, though, now gets its action, and its tail whoosh, whips down from above and hits you. Oh, you only got 1 success. Wow. If you click on that little 10, you see the successes. 10 base dice. Attack. So go ahead and roll your armor, if you will.
Ooh. Can I
Yeah.
use my bodyguard?
You
and
can
jump
use
in
your
the way?
bodyguard.
Okay, doing it right now. I'm
He's
gonna
pushing
save
you out of
my
the way.
friend.
He's pushing you out of the way.
No,
Oh!
man, no.
Ah,
Oh
two
man,
successes
pushes
for the
already
stress.
out of the way. As this tail whips down, he runs and shoves you out of the way and is
Oh,
frozen with fear as the tail comes down and hits him. Everybody, your stress increases by 1
jeez.
as you watch Seth look up and his tail whips down and stabs him.
Oh my
Go ahead and
God.
roll your armor, please, Seth.
Okay, I'll roll my armor. Oh, buddy.
Oh,
One
and it's
success.
that's all you need because I only rolled 1 success.
Yes.
So it just glances and pings off your armor. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Back to the top of the turn order. The other xenomorph
Love
is
it.
running out of the water towards Clarence. Oh my goodness.
I'm like,
And it
"Get
really
out of
wants
the
that
way."
head bite on Clarence. 2 successes, Clarence. Alright, you want to use your fast action to try and dodge it again?
Of course.
This is wild. I
Oh
love
my
it.
god. I only got 2 successes. So again, you negate all the damage.
And do 2 damage to it.
You could counter attack.
And. Yeah, 2 more damage to it. And that means it's going to do acid splash to me. And I need to roll stress.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if the armor takes any of the acid. Why am I wearing this?
'Cause it looks cool.
And let's
About
roll
it.
that stress.
Don't-
Oh, you're frozen in fear too.
Stress
Oh,
goes up.
This is how it goes down, isn't it? Whew. Okay, so you lose your slow action. You can't do anything on your turn. Your stress level, the stress level, of all friendly PCs in short range increases by 1. So everybody go ahead and take a stress. How much damage did you take? You took
2 more.
2 more points. Okay. This thing is still up. And it's over to Hanzo. So there's now 2 of these creatures in the room. They're really lanky. They're maybe like 6.5, 7 feet tall if they stand up upright all the way, but they're kind of hunched over and hissing.
So for Hanzo's fast action, he's going to inject himself with nap relief. And then he's going to shoot the one that is engaged with Lieutenant Revolver, because that's his buddy, and he's not going to.
All right. More acid for 2 head bites. I was robbed of 2 head bites. Oh, do you want to push it?
Yeah, I'll push it.
I was going to say, how do you have no stress? You just took a nap relief. Okay,
Yeah.
2 successes.
So that's 3 damage, depending on his armor.
Okay, let me roll its armor versus armor piercing. It goes through some 3 damage.
Yes.
All right, you fire, and this thing just crumbles to the ground as acid sprays everywhere. Ganon's like, "Don't kill these things! No!" He screams.
And since
Stop!
I took him down with my merciless talent, that reduces my stress back down to 0.
Nice.
3 more acid splash.
Ooh.
Armor's got to work eventually.
Remember, so you're still taking acid damage from last round also there.
Yep, so I got another acid I'm taking, and by the way, I'm at 2. Now that puts me at 1, so I will be going down to acid next round.
And you're frozen.
You get
Yeah,
to roll
like
your You get to roll your armor though, right? Still?
Yeah, roll your armor, roll your armor. Stops 1. One of the... So take 2, and permanently reduce your armor by 1 point.
Oof.
People came for blood tonight. They're not having it. You guys are too strong. All right.
Oh.
Old man. Seth,
All
it's over to
right.
you. One of these things is right by you in Aradia.
It's blade time.
Oh,
I'd say.
It's
I
blade
got
time.
it. I'm too close to. Nah, I'm at. Can I shoot in close range?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I already got a sword kill. You know, Seth is like, I already earned my drink. I'll just shoot.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Okay. Ooh, boy. Oof. 2 successes. I'm gonna push it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I rolled my armor. You can push it. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
That's a
Total of 5.
5. Yeah,
Wow.
but I
How many-
said
and I
have some
rolled
stress.
4.
Oh shoot! No, I don't get any of this. I'm frozen.
No, that's right. You're frozen.
Oh,
So I don't get to do
snap.
anything. Sorry, folks.
You can do your fast act. No.
No,
sorry,
I'm
let's go
frozen.
back.
I think I don't think I get to do anything, right?
You lose your slow action.
Slow action. So
Oh,
you can still
okay.
do your fast action. Frozen by stress or
Ugh.
fear for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level and the stress level of all those around you raises.
I will take some nap relief then.
Or you could save your fast action so you could parry it if it tries to kill you.
That's a good point.
Okay, well I have my sword out for that to get ready to parry then. I guess.
Our combatants over there. Nobody's been able to see them. I've moved the map. All right. Whew. Okay. Clarence, over to you. You've got a dead something at your feet.
So yeah, I am panicked. So this should end my panic, right? But I can't do anything.
And you don't. Yeah, you
Am
don't
I-
get a slow action, right? Because you're also
So-
frozen.
Yep. So my fast action, I think, is definitely going to be just taking some nap relief and getting rid of the 7 stress I have.
What about the acid eating through you? How many points of acid were eating through you altogether?
So far, I
'Cause-
have taken.
Because it halves every round. So if you took like 3 the first round, it'd be like 1. We'll do it down.
So yeah, I should be taking 2 more acid damage, which is both of my health.
Because it would be whatever you took from the previous round will hit you, not whatever you took this round will eat through.
Okay, so previous round I took 5.
Okay. So,
A 2 and a 3.
so you're down to like,
I have 2 hit points left.
okay,
It would be 1 if my armor didn't take the last bit.
okay.
Should I roll my armor?
Yeah, roll your armor. Oh!
It's
Reduce your armor by 2 points permanently, but it just saved your life.
Hey, that armor was useless until it wasn't.
Aradia, over to you. There's still one of these things left in the room.
I take 1 damage from the acid because I took 2 previously.
Yeah,
Should I roll my armar?
yeah. Roll your armor to see if it stops it. No, okay,
Doesn't
so you
stop
take 1
it, so I
point.
took 1. Okay. And I am going to back up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, my character. Oh, there's really nowhere for me to back up.
You're right up against the wall.
Luckily,
I am.
Seth is
I'm just gonna
between
stay
you.
there. I don't want Seth to be between me. I want to like.
You're gonna
I
push
move
an old
over
man,
here.
make him break his head?
I move
Don't
over
do that.
here because I don't want to shoot you with my gun because I'm shooting with a gun. And so I'm gonna shoot with my smart gun. Do I still do no modifier now because we
No
see him out?
modifier. You're just...
I would like to
Ooh.
use that, please.
All right, roll your stress. That's good damage.
Cool.
Oh.
Ah, I dropped
Uh,
it.
But it's 2 less than that.
Oh,
Nerves of steel.
okay.
Oh.
What is that? Tremble?
I've tried to toggle my panic back on. It will not let me interact with it right now, so I can't do anything about it.
That's weird. Okay.
I can't. Yeah, it's okay.
So you
I'm
guys have a
fine. See,
nervous
I
twitch.
right-clicked it. Says panic is over. It didn't even have it selected that it was on. Anyway,
Everybody, stress increases by 1 because Aradia starts to twitch as she shoots at this thing. So you shoot at this thing. You did how much? What's your base damage? 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points of
6
damage.
damage.
Woo! This thing's dead. Okay. Let me roll its armor. Maybe it'll get lucky against your armor-piercing attack. Nope. So you just
None.
chew this thing to pieces. Your bullets just rip it to shreds. Poor Seth, though. That's 6 points of damage that we're putting on top of those 10 acid splash dice. Oh, 4 points of acid splash. Go ahead and roll your
Armor?
armor, please. Oh my god, you take all...
No!
Ah, he screams as this acid just like spews on him. And he falls to the ground. 62! Ah,
Oh no!
what did you
Ruptured
get?
aorta.
Ruptured aorta, so this thing burns right through your armor and through your chest to your heart. You see Seth is on the ground clutching his heart.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. He's just
Oh,
like,
no.
he's like, it's okay.
The old man's ticker's about to go.
Oh my god.
I have 1 round. 1 round till I fully die. I love it. Dude, Evan's not even here to see it. Oh.
With that, this other thing collapses again and gets between you. He's like, "Stop shooting these things! This is what we're here for!"
Yeah, we're here to love these things. Like, what are you talking about?
This is it.
We're
This is
trying-
what will change the war.
They're
Hanzo pushes
trying
him
to
out of the
murder
way
us.
and tries to get over to Bones and
Oh,
there's
my.
no healing skills whatsoever, but he's trying to like put some kind of contrast. He's like, Bones, you
have a -2.
Bones, you're gonna die.
Bones,
I
you're
don't
gonna
know what to tell you, Bones, but you're gonna die, and you don't even remember that I didn't hate you, and I hate everybody, but you don't even know that. But I'm gonna try.
I grab Seth's body and I fucking fireman carry him the fuck out of there, screaming for that old woman. I'm screaming for that
He's
old
only
woman.
got 1 round, isn't it? One round is
No.
It's like
one round
seconds.
is seconds. It's
God
seconds.
Guys
damn
in
it!
your
It's
arm.
5 to 10 seconds.
Pull out my medical kit and just stick me with some whatever
Can
syringe
I
you find in
attempt?
there.
Can I attempt a medical? Can I attempt anything here? I
Yeah.
have nothing in medical.
Well,
This is
That's what
My
I'm trying to do
equipment-
too.
My
Hanzo's also
equipment
over.
gives a +2, so it will negate the -2 at the very least. Just-
okay.
So who wants? One person can do it. So who wants to do
I won't
it?
roll for it. Aaron said he was going there first, so I'm gonna let Aaron.
Oh no,
Aaron
no,
roll for it.
you can
No,
totally do it.
no, that's okay. No,
We've
that's
got-
totally
I love
okay.
it.
I'm
You've got
gonna
5 to
fail,
10
so-
seconds. He's just. Do you want to push it?
I'll push it. I'll push it.
Oh!
He's like,
Seth,
He-
what
that's-
happens? What happens, Seth?
Well, what happens is Seth is like, just use the syringe. Just do it. And he's like, okay. And you're like, oh, you grab whichever one. You're like, I think it's this one. He's like, yeah, yes, that one. He's like, oh, he's like, thanks.
You put the X stim right into your heart, or the X.
I thought it was just full of air. I
Yeah,
thought that
that's
he
what,
really had his
this one was
hand
just full of air.
full of air.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
okay.
That's how he wanted to go.
straight into his heart.
Oh my god.
He's like, this is
Oh
better.
no.
The pain's going away. Dead.
Gannon's like, stand down. That one guy that you found in the cryopod is at the back of the room, like, what the hell is going? He's freaking out. He's losing his mind at everything he's seeing. Seth died.
Hanzo stands up and looks at the lieutenant. Lieutenant, are there any other targets in this room you want me to engage at this point?
No. Could you take a quick once over of me, see if I have all this acid off of me?
Clear.
I am So I look at Seth and I'm like, well, we need a new medic,
You'll have to pour it out for me for the drink you owe me.
right? Yeah, no, we're taking his body with us, and we are burying him with his sword.
And his syringe.
Am I able to go back into the water with the acid in there? Or
Yeah, you could let it give it time to dissipate and go back in.
Yep.
Dilute, if you will.
Clarence is not looking very good. He's got acid splash that's gone all over his body. He's got melted skin left, right, and center.
Lieutenant, I'm not particularly good with heavy machinery, but if you want to sit this one out, I can try and get it the rest of the way out.
Nah, let's get the mission done.
Clear, sir.
Gannon's kind of freaking out. Get the mission done! Get the mission done! You've just destroyed what we're here for.
I wasn't briefed on any faceless, black, acid-blooded things. Were you, Lieutenant?
I was not. The mission is a flight recorder.
You're a liar! You were there! You were there with General Vaughn!
I've looked at my mission objectives, Mr. Gannon. I am here to get the flight recorder and get these people off of it. I don't know how you wanted
General
me to
Vaughn,
get...
we'll hear about this.
Yes. How would you have gotten these things out of here? Would you have, I don't know, given them a nice hug and hoped that they settled down? Give them maybe a belly rub, throw them a bone?
It's not my job. That's why they sent you.
Hanzo, execute Gannon.
Takes a shot.
What? What?
Yes.
What? Did you just kill the
I'm not-
NPC?
I'm not having him go and report back that the mission's a failure.
And I imagine that acid melted all of the cameras.
Hold on.
Wait,
Hanzo.
I have a suggestion. We can make this look like an accident.
Hanzo fires.
He's just like, what? He's like, oh, look at all the successes. Oh my god.
Gannon's head explodes.
Gannon's head just,
So
explodes.
after Gannon's head explodes, I'd like to take his body and push it into the acid so it burns away
Just
any
rub-
obvious abilities
That's
that
exactly what I
what's
was
happened
gonna
to
do.
him.
Throw the
I was
alien
just gonna
body
take
on
his
top
face.
of him.
I was just gonna take his face and shove his face into the acid and let it kill him and be like, whoopsie daisies. But you exploded
Lieutenant,
his head, Aaron.
The target has been cleared, Lieutenant. And then Hanzo goes to retrieve the round out of the wall.
I look at everybody in the room and say, that never happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
He is
He
going
was-
to jeopardize our looking good at the completion of this mission. Is it understood why this took place?
Clear, sir.
Why what took place, sir? I miss Seth.
As you're
Thank you,
talking, the guy that you found in the crowd pod grabs the PDAT and runs for the door.
I run after him. No,
Yeah,
I shoot him in the leg.
no,
I shoot him in the leg. I shoot him in the leg. I shoot him in the leg.
Oh, no more kneecaps.
I can't lower my panic level. I can't lower it to when it's actually 4 lower than it is right now. I can't lower it.
Okay, so you rolled a 13. Hold on.
I can't fix it.
Wow. All right. This is welcome to Revolvers Irregulars. This is apparently
I'm
how we
not at
operate.
panic level 13. I'm technically at panic level 9. I just can't reduce my panic level by anything.
Yeah,
I can't
gotcha.
reduce it by anything.
So 9 is
because it's
drop
not showing
item.
up. I dropped the gun I just shot that guy with.
Your stress increases by 1, and you drop an
Okay.
item. So this guy starts running for the door,
I take a nap.
and he gets in the hall. He gets in the hallway, and he hits the water. It's a little bit lower, and you open fire. You clip his leg. And he falls down into the water, and he's clutching his knee. Yeah, you're crazy, all of you. You killed him.
Get-
You're gonna kill
Sir,
remove
we're
the
here to
PDAT.
save you. We're here to save your life, sir. But if you run from us and prevent us from saving your life, we will have to eliminate you.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab the flight recorder and put that under one arm, grab Seth, put him on the other arm, and yeah, we're going to start working our way to where the ship is going to get us, and I'm hoping Aradia can help carry our now injured guy with her.
Alrighty, you took a nap relief also?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I don't know if you can reset my panic level, but I can't see it.
Yeah, let me take a
online.
look at it.
Like I can't see it at all.
And since I did kill Ganon, my stress goes down by 1. It's a very calming effect on me.
Oh man. Where's your character sheet? I can't believe we lost.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't know
believe
why
it was
it's
Seth
doing
either.
that either. I'm taking a look on here.
Do you see panicked lit up at all? Because I
No.
see nothing. Okay.
No, it's not lit up.
See, it makes it over. It makes it over, but yeah.
Okay. So you pry this thing free. You've got the flight recorder. You are sending the emergency signal. Your mission is to also blow this thing up and get those cryopods out of here. And you know there's UPP commandos on the way.
We're making our way to the door immediately, and the goal is to get far enough away that I can blow up the ship.
Which door?
Um,
Well, you gotta get the
is there
cryopods out of here too.
Well, yeah. So we're waiting for the ship to come
Okay.
down and hopefully land on top of this thing so we can get out.
Ooh.
Sir, if you'd like, I can fire once we're ready. I can fire an RPG at the fuel cells.
We already have a breaching charge on the fuel cells,
That's fair.
but I appreciate the thought. I'm not. If that charge doesn't go off, I'll take you up on that.
Tyler, you're the first player I've had in a game that's died to acid damage. I just want you to know that. You're the first.
It was a lot of acid damage. Like,
Well, it's
it
also
ripped
your
right through the
heart.
armor. Just literally, yeah, just like
Artery.
literally, just like burned right through nothing. Just blood starts going.
For what it's worth, Tyler, I have taken 7 acid damage as we've been going here.
I mean, the fact that Seth didn't die in the first game and has been running with 2 HP forever is insane. So I am happy he A, saved a Radia, and B, died by his syringe.
So the guy who shot in the leg, he's like, "Get me to the damn medical bay! I'm gonna bleed out! You maniacs!"
I hoist him up over my shoulder.
There's blood everywhere. Like he is bleeding profusely.
I'll bandage his leg up.
All right, roll me a medical roll.
Did that break him?
Because empathy is my strong suit.
And he,
That doesn't look good.
no, you're fine. -2. You're fine.
Yeah.
He's like, you made it worse. You kind of stuck your finger in there. I'm bleeding out. I'm gonna die.
Lieutenant, the hole in his leg is large.
Is he going to die? Like, is this serious?
Oh yeah, it's serious.
Probably.
With
He's
the amount of
probably
damage
gonna-
that Aradia did, yeah.
I mean, it's one less person to tell us that we're doing a bad job, so...
That's a good point, Lieutenant.
Got in the way when we were shooting those giant creatures, sir.
You shot me in the back.
How long does he look like he has if I had to estimate it in number of rounds?
Oh my goodness. I'd say he's
35
got
seconds?
it looks like he's got he might have a couple of shifts, like a couple of hours. But he's bleeding out actually pretty profusely. We'll say a couple of turns. So a turn is 5 to 10 minutes. So he's gonna need some aid like within the next 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's get the pods on the roof of this thing and get him up there. Let's start getting everything up, and let's get ready for our chopper to arrive.
All right, so you're carrying him on your shoulder. You're gonna go get those cryopods out and try to get out of here, and just kind of like fortify and hope you don't meet up with some UPP commandos.
That's the game plan. We've got to get the pods up on the roof, and I don't think there's anywhere else in the jungle that we're going to be able to land. So,
all right. As you're carrying this guy out, he's like, "I don't feel good. Please get me to the medical bay. I'm gonna bleed out."
you don't feel good, like your leg hurts, or something else is bothering you?
Oh my god, my chest hurts so much, and he starts vomiting blood.
Oh no!
And all of a sudden, he's clinging to you already. He's like, I don't feel Hugga! And you could feel his chest kind of like pushing out on your shoulder.
Aradia,
I
put him
bear
down.
hug him. I bear
Nope.
hug him. Okay, I put him down.
Put him down.
You put him down, and all of a sudden he's clutching his chest, he's screaming, and he's vomiting blood. All of a sudden, his ribs are pushing from the inside out, and all of a sudden, they burst open, and this little creature looks up at you and screeches.
Can we all open fire on that?
No, it gets a surprise attack. Yeah. So 1 is going to be Revolver, 2 will be Aradia, 3
I'm
will
okay
be
soaking it because
Fonzo.
I'm like right there.
How long has it been since the last fight?
Seconds. Minutes. It has not been long. All right, so Clarence, it's going for you. So this thing squeals at you, and it lunges for your throat.
Mother!
Mommy. I got only 1 success. All right. So it lunges at your throat. So this is, and it bites you. So you can.
Can I close combat try and stop it?
Yeah. You stop it. So you bat this thing aside. Everybody take a stress for seeing this horrific scene of this thing bursting off its chest and screaming and lunging at Revolver.
Can I push?
No,
No,
you got
the face hugger.
Let's roll that stress then.
Okay, everybody takes a stress. You bat this thing aside, and you hear it thud up against the bulkhead, and all of a sudden it just skitters away into the water, back into the room you just left.
Well, we're going to be blowing up this building, so let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's leave off there. I think that's a good place to leave it off for tonight, this week.
Heck yeah.
Xenomorphs, Ceph, and chest bursters. Hey, we've finally seen Xenomorphs. Whew. Unfortunately, it was the first and last time Ceph saw a Xenomorph.
Old man Bones.
He went the way he wanted to go.
With a syringe of air.
Health back.
All right. Now and there's some commandos headed your way. This will be good next week. All right. So let's do the round table. Jen, what do you got going on this week?
I'm real shook by today, I'll be honest. I actually don't have anything else going on this week, so I'm just going to be back again next Sunday here. I know I just took Bill's intro and outro, but
sorry, Bill.
Yeah, I've got a light week. It's my off week, which I'm totally okay with.
Very good. Tyler, you're streaming this week. You're back at it now.
I will be back I'll be on the 24th is my next day, on my own. Of course, I'll be here next Sunday with a new medic, and we will see how that goes. But it will go.
Because you bought the hat, so you just have to keep making medics now.
Of course. Yeah, I got it. And yes, also, I just always love playing medics in games. It's always my favorite. Facing Sharon. Yeah, I know. My chair is just like, whoa. But yes, those are the only two things I have going on is here and the 24th, where I will run Avatar Legends.
Avatar. All right, I'm going to create a new character for you right now. Bill, what do you got going on?
Back into cryostasis for the week. I'll be back here on Sunday.
And Aaron.
Over on our Blag Games, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Masks of Nylothotep. Wednesday, Garblag Games, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Akchung Blue. Thursday night, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, Blades in the Dark, possibly, maybe, and back here next Sunday to see if the UPP command are tough enough to take us out.
Very good, Tyler. Your character sheet's already set up.
I see that. Thank you.
What do I have going on this week? All the same stuff as Aaron. So I'm running Masks and Nylothotep on Garblight Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We just started the first chapter last week, so we can get caught up real easy on that. Possibly
New York, it's awesome.
New York. It's a hell of a town. Thursday, possibly I'll be running Blades in the Dark there as well at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Sunday, we're back here with more Alien. I can't wait. We're gonna meet Tyler's new character and Evan's new character. Finally.
Yeah.
You did call in for backup and help, so that it's gonna make it maybe a little bit easier to introduce a couple of new characters.
True.
Okay. Thank you everybody for joining us. We always appreciate it. We have our regulars who come here every week. That's awesome. As soon as we get that Revolvers of Regulars thing done up in color and all that, we'll let everybody know, because it is amazing. You should all see it, what Brendan drew, because it's really, really, really cool. And we'll be back here next week Sunday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a great week, everybody.